Some of you might remember from my previous video that we have an autumn-born calf who unfortunately broke his leg. Today, I have an update for you. So as you can see, touch wood, we haven't got many repeats in this batch of ewes. Reds should have repeated by now if they were going to. Blues were last week, and greens come by. Greens will be this coming week. Just moving these ewes here to a fresh bite of grass because, as you can see here, it's been so wet and dubby. Wait! This has been a crazy wet topping. Everywhere is just soaking. I mean, it's not good when the ewes' footprints are even filling with water. Grass is getting scarce now. I've opened up bigger blocks for the sheep to run over, just to try and spread them out a wee bit more. I've got another week to do, so I'm hoping it'll last them the final week, and then they'll go back out the hills. Gimmers will go to one hill, ewes will go to the other, and then they will get gathered up in January for scanning. So that's where we find out how good or bad the tups have been. It's reassuring to see this year that we're not, all the ewes are marked now, but also we're not getting many repeats at the moment. That is a good sign. I'm not saying anymore, I'm not wanting to jinx it, so time will tell. Just shifted the wire for the ewe lambs here, giving them another 2 fresh drills. They do still have a few chips left. They haven't quite taken to them as quickly as I would have liked. Last year they fairly just took to them straight away. So I don't know if it's maybe the change in variety. So we'll give them another fresh strip, and I'm going to shut them on the neeps here now, just to sort of make them get used to eating them. With the neeps being planted up on the drills, you can see there, they're up out the ground. That's literally all that's left. So the ewe lambs have eaten pretty much all of it. The root was obviously in the ground, so there's very, very little waste. The cows have been housed now for just over 6 weeks, so we're taking them round and we're going to give them a fluke dose. It has to be done like 6 to 8 weeks after housing, to make sure that the fluke is mature enough to be killed by the product. Just setting up some temporary barriers here at the moment, and take the cows round. We are getting something more permanent sorted, but bales will have to do for just now. As you can see here, the calves have been shut in their creeps. This is just temporary. This is just so we can get the cows out first, give them their dose, and then we'll get the cows back in. Then we'll get the calves round straight away, do them, and then get everyone back together. We try and keep them separate for as little time as possible, but this just makes it a lot easier from a management point of view, and also safety of the calves, so they don't get hurt or squished. They are down the race. So cows are up the back here, and then just chase them down the race behind me. Come on, girls! We can usually hold about 12 in the race, and then 1 in the crush. The calves are getting a wormer and also a treatment for lice. that's everyone done. Cows are all squirted, calves are all squirted. It's quite a quick job, quick easy process. But yeah, should keep them all right hopefully. Got a broken leg update. Our wonderful vets, which we are always very grateful for, are cutting into the old bandage here. So we're taking all of this off to see what like it is underneath, make sure that it hasn't been rubbing, make sure there's no infection. Once it's off, you can see here that our vet is just checking the leg to see that it is starting to heal, checking the break, making sure it's okay. There is still a tiny bit of movement here, so we're going to put on another plaster for a couple of weeks just to be absolutely certain that this is going to be right, because we're so close to getting it right. We want to just make sure that we do it properly now and it doesn't have any issues in the future. He is still on painkillers just to make sure he's comfortable, but he is doing really, really well. We're really pleased. So you can see here he's got his cast back on again. It's not as easy to walk with all the straw, but it's very nearly healed. He just will have this on for a couple weeks and hopefully that'll be him good to go. It's looking really well. No infection and it is starting to heal, so yeah, we're feeling hopeful. Just marked out the top pass. I shouldn't have bedded it. I should just have left the texels in a different pen. Can't get in here with any machinery. So see the loader, although it doesn't look it there, it's too tall. So yeah, every time we've got stuff in here, it's a hand muck out job. But I suppose it keeps you fit. So Dad was going around the gimmers this morning and he mentioned that there was one that had a really sore foot. So I've caught her here. She's absolutely fine, she's just sulking. I've caught her here using the crook and she's just got a wee touch of foot rot just starting in this foot here, just at the tip. So I've given it a wee spray with some terramycin spray. I've also given her a jab of antibiotics. Obviously this is not ideal, but she is quite early in lamb, so the stress of this could cause her to lose her lambs. Thankfully it wasn't too stressful. I've got her up against the fence, I've had Roxy standing in front of her and I've managed to just hook her leg, so thankfully it wasn't too stressful, but obviously it's going to stress her out a wee bit. So I've given her antibiotics, I've sprayed her feet with blue spray, just hopefully that'll cure her up. I'll keep an eye on her, I've given her a mark, and fingers crossed she holds on to her lambs. So going by that Gimmer's keel mark, she was tupped the second colour, so the second week, so that was like start of November. So she should hopefully have the eggs well established inside her. That wee bit of stress there won't have done anything too harmful, hopefully, but you just never know. Every ewe is obviously very different, but in my opinion there wasn't really an option, because you can't leave her in pain with her foot that's starting to get foot rot. So really you have to do something. So I tried to make it as little stress as possible for her. Done, get it dealt with, give it a spray, give her some antibiotics, and then get out there and just leave her to it now. But you never know. I mean, I don't like stressing them out. Thank you as always for watching. It is wet and horrible here now tonight. So if you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a wee like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.